I may need the length of the arc. So what I'll do, I'll just write something on the top somewhere here. Length of arc 35 point. That, well, we know the radius. I don't know if I need that, but I'll just write it just in case. And then, what's the other thing? Perimeter is 59.2. Okay, so I can take from here and head down. Okay, so part B, they're saying a cone is made from the sector. So apparently, they took this cone, not cone, they took this sector and made a cone out of it. So some people may not understand this. So here's what I actually have a very short video. I'll just play a piece of the video. So you'll see how they would normally fold something that looks like a sector. I don't think I got it with a sector. I got it more with a triangle, but it's the same thing that normally happens. Right, so you will see how it will what's going on with this? Yeah, you will see how it's going to be full because some people cannot envision that in their head. So I'll just play the short video myself. Um, hold on. Not from this part. It was around. Right, so you see this person using like a triangular shape, right? The only difference is they didn't cut it as a sector. If they had it like a sector, it would have looked, well, it would have had like all here, you know, would have been. So it would have looked exactly like, but regardless of if it looked exactly like the previous shape we had before, or they have it as a triangular shape cutout, when it's full, it will look similar, right? So a few things you'll want to pay attention to here, right? Just now, I'll go back to the video. When a shape similar to this, it's not exactly like that, but when it is fold, remember, these are the radius here. Technically, um, you could act like if these are radius. They are not really radius unless it had like the piece below, as I said. But it's similar. So these radii, when it's full, it will like literally meet with each other. Um, and then below would form a circular part. So this is what it will look like. I don't know why it wasn't fold like that, but some people fold it different. That wasn't folded a little different, but what I'm trying to say though is that this part will become circular. So like a cone and okay, let's say here, the top of the cone. So most of you will be familiar with ice cream cones, right? So when they fold that in, this part is like the top of the ice cream cone, like that circular open part. I hope that making sense, right? So that's really what's going on down here when they fold. The reason why I'm saying that is because based on what they want us to do, you have to understand what's going on with the shape because we have to use certain things from what I just found to figure out the next part. So when they fold this, it becomes like the circular opening of the cone. So going back down here, that is this. So let me take out some of these things. That arc is this piece that is circular here, right? So I hope you all are following thus far. I know most people will already mention arc. So this is the arc from the previous diagram, which was this part that's fold like this. And you'll want to keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that the radii, which is OM and ON, they would now be like the sides of the cone, right? They would represent like the side lengths. So in other words, let's just go back down again. You're seeing OM and ON. So here's OM right here. So technically, when this shape is folded in a cone shape, the radii or radius for one. So that means this length is 12 centimeters. So let me ask, are you all understanding anything I'm saying? Is anybody lost? I hope that you all are paying attention also.
Understand so far.
Okay. So if anybody is unclear about anything, let me know so I could probably go over it again before I actually do the question. Okay, so I'm not seeing nothing in the chat, so what does that mean? A lot of people are unclear because I don't know what that means. I have no clue. Let's kind of go over it one more time. Here's what I'll do. Let me go back up. I am going to sketch this diagram on the side. I'll put the center somewhere around here. This is O, this is M, this is N. We have R below. Have 160 degrees there. 12 cm. Oh no, it's not 12 cm. All right, so heading back down. So what I was saying is, because they said here that a cone was made from the sector. What sector? This same sector that was on the previous page. And the same joining OM is here to ON. So they like connect those two sides together. It's like gluing them, like if you think about it like that in real life. So gluing those two radii together. And that's how they have OM and N right here because those two sides are now, let's say, I don't want to say knitted,
Yes,
but they
so
are
that
like,
question, Miss, so the top of the cone, or I should say the opening of the cone is where the perimeter is, which is 59.2.
yes,
Okay.
that's no. That's not the perimeter, that's the length of the arc. Okay,
Right,
so
the
you're
length of the arc. Yes. Sorry, the
right.
length of the arc.
Yes, so that this part, which is the arc that we found the length of the arc, that is this part here. So the opening, as you were seeing.
Yes.
Correct. So this length will be the length of the arc when it closes in, of course. Um, yeah, so OM, which is also ON, both of them are like joined together or glued on together. So that's why this side of the cone will be 12 centimeters because the radii, each of them was 12 centimeters, right? And similar to what Celicia was saying, this arc here we were asked to find the length of the arc. Well, we were not asked to find the length of the arc, we were asked to find the perimeter. But we had to find the length of the arc in order to find the perimeter. And we got it to be 35.2. So when they fold this, it became this. So that means this length here is also 35.2 centimeters. So I hope the person who told me or asked that I repeat, I hope you are clear or clearer. If you are still unclear, let me know. If there's anybody else who is still unclear as well or anything that I said, okay. Let me know as well. Okay.
So Miss Question, finding that radius is 190 degrees over 360.
Mm, not quite.
Okay.
I'll okay, so to find the radius, you have to use the volume of a cone formula. Let's now hold on. Actually, no, you don't need to use volume because look at where the radius is. This is the radius they want. So we don't have to use no volume for cone. This question requires a lot of, should I say, deep thinking, analytical skills, all kind of thing like that, because it's not that straightforward. So where's the radius? The radius they want is this one. And they have a center point right here. So on which shape exactly is that radius? Well, you could say it's on the circular part of the cone. So we could use that information to figure it out because, okay, if I draw it separate, the circular part of the cone, and we have the radius that they want, the arrow radius. So remember again, we found the length of the arc before, so we already know what the circumference of the circle is. Now some people say, how we know what the circumference of the circle is and we found length of the arc? Remember, circumference is perimeter. Perimeter is the length of an entire shape. So since we know the length of this arc, in this case, we also know the perimeter of that circular shape. Well, when they fold it into the cone shape, that makes it the perimeter of that circular part. Does that make any sense?
That's Miss.
Okay, so I hope the others are following. So people like Shania, Crystal, if you're like unclear about anything, Kareem, Laverne, Ariana, Audacia as well. Yeah, same year.
I started following. My brain fried since last night.
What? You okay, I'm Laverne. Um, yeah, you follow it. But if you have questions, like last night, some people tell me they're following, right? And I said to them, when people tell me they're following, I interpret that as you are not fully clear, nor are you, it's not that you don't understand at all. You're somewhere in the middle. Therefore, if you have a specific question, ask the question. Or if you want to tell me, Miss, can you repeat? Say that. I will repeat it. So whatever you think is going to help you get that clarification, you need to tell me. Don't just tell me you're following, because if you tell me you're following, I might just
This
continue.
last night, you see, I get quiet there. So the last question that you did, I didn't do anything concerning that. So I was like totally lost.
But that's why you're supposed to tell me. If you don't tell me, then I will continue. But if you tell me, I might slow down or I might try to re-explain it another way, right? But I did realize it did get quiet, which was pretty strange because I know you're normally one of those who, ask questions and, communicate a lot. But yes, I'm saying it again, not just to you, Laverne, but those in the chat who are telling me that they are following. If you have a specific question, ask the question. If you don't know what to ask, but you think that you didn't catch what I said, just ask me to repeat. So if you ask me to repeat, then I might probably explain it a different way. But if you don't say anything, then I am not sure exactly how to go about helping you. All right, so um, so I need you all to understand that when they took, again, I'm going through this part. They took this arc, right? So they took this arc, and when they fold the shape, the arc became this, which is the same thing over here, right? So in other words, since I already found the length of the arc, hence I already know the length of this entire piece. So I need you all to catch on to that. I know
Yes,
some people on it. Okay. So since I know the length of that entire piece, right? I know that we know the perimeter of that circle, which is sometimes called, or most times called, the circumference. Because what is the circumference, which is also perimeter? It's the length of an entire shape. What am I writing? I'm writing circummetal, obviously. So circumference. Yeah. So the circumference means the length of an entire shape. The arc became a shape by itself. The arc became a circle. So since I know the length of the arc, I know the circumference of that shape. Well, the arc that became a circle in the cone itself. So if you understand that, then I could go ahead. I know one person for sure is clear. Others tell me they follow it, but I don't know what that following really means. So again, we know what the circumference is because the circumference is the length of the arc that we formed when this was an arc. It's no longer an arc now, it's a circular part of the cone. So once you understand that, and we need to find the radius of a circle, we can use the formula with circumference of a circle is equal to pi, not pi, 2 pi r. 2 pi r, or 2 radius pi, yeah. The one that has radius in it, because it, I mean, you could use the other one diameter, but we don't have no diameter, so it's better to use the one with the radius. So if we use the circumference of a circle formula, which is another way of saying perimeter of the circle, right? That will be equal to 2 multiplied by the radius multiplied by pi. So we know that the circumference of this circular part is 35.2, which will be equal to 2 multiplied by the radius, because the radius is what we need to find, multiplied by pi. They told us in the previous part of the question to use pi as 22/7. So here's where we will have to transpose, because r is not by itself, right? And we need to get r by itself in order to find r. Now, is there anybody writing down these things? Because I need to clear some of this. I could continue that week.
very good. You can clear when you're ready. If the others finish.
Okay. Um, all right, so I'm going to clear them. Um, right, so to continue from here, in order to get R by itself, we have to move 2, and we have to move 22 over 7. But we can move them separately, or we can move them together. But when I say together, in order to move 2 and 22 over 7 together, we have to multiply them, like simplified. Now, why can't I do that? Because both of them are being multiplied to R. So I could multiply 2 to 22 over 7 and then move them. Or I could just move them individually. So I will move it individually. And the first one that I will move, let me see if I'm moving it individually. It doesn't matter now. I can move this one. So I'll need to divide both sides by 22 over 7. So 35.2. I'll divide here by 22 over 7 is equal to 2 multiplied by the radius multiplied by 22 divided by 7 divided by 22 over 7. Now I know, and some of you would know as well, if you divide the same thing to the same thing, they will cancel out. So this will leave us with 2 by the radius. We can leave this for now, let the calculator do that in a while. Divided by 22 over 7. Okay, the only trick here now is I have to divide everything on the other side by 2. So here's what I'll do. Yeah, here is what I'll do. Let me take off this. Take off this. I don't know if I need that. All right, I'll take off that. I'll head over here. So 35.2 divided by 22 divided by 7. Oh, I forgot this calculator might give me color. So let me put this in brackets 22 divided by 7. Let me double check that here. Okay. Yes, I'm getting 11.2 in my calculator. For this one, I have to put it in brackets. The reason why, um, with ball or bed mass, if we have 2 divisions in a question, it will do the first division first, which would have been 35 divided by, sorry, 35.2 divided by 20, down the row. It says to divide the fraction first. So to indicate that to the calculator, in a case like this, you have to put that in brackets. So even if I scientific for this question, I had to put that part in brackets. Because it will automatically divide 35.2 by 22, and then afterwards divide by 7. But 22 over 7 has to divide first. Then afterwards, 32.2 by whatever I would have gotten 422.7 if I was doing it individually. So for this part, I am getting 11.2. So it will be a little bit more, should I say, clearer to divide by 2 now. Divide here by 2, divide here by 2, change it to 1, 1. The melted R or the radius is equal to 11.2 divided by 2, which is 5.6 centimeters, I believe. Yeah, because the other length with centimeters. So I'm getting 5.6 centimeters for the length. So if you have questions, concerns, confusions, loss, whatever, let me know. Adish, Ariana, Laverne, Kareem, Crystal, Salisha, and Shania.
No, Miss, I good.
Okay. Okay. So that's the radius there.